Welcome to Real Hospitality Conversations, where we talk honestly about the people, the pressure, and the passion behind hospitality. From the front line to the leadership, from then to now, these are the conversations shaping our industry. This is Real Hospitality Conversations. Welcome to Real Hospitality Conversations, and my name is Kerwin Matas. Today we are going to touch on a serious topic. This is going to be integrity in hospitality and why theft damages more than just revenue. This episode addresses the sensitive but very real issue of workplace theft in our industry, hospitality and tourism. The goal is not simply to condemn the behavior, but to explore why does it happen, how it affects the businesses and the teams, and why integrity remains one of the most valuable qualities in hospitality and tourism today. Hospitality is built on trust. This is a trust between our guests, the management, and of course our team members. When this trust is broken, the impact is much deeper than just the financial loss alone. So our hospitality operations, they function differently from many of the other operations out there. Team members handle money, belongings, food stock, alcohol, equipment. This is on a daily basis. In many cases, they also have access to private guest spaces, such as the rooms and of course the lodges where these team members may be based at. Because of these environments, hospitality relies heavily on personal responsibility and trust. And this is where integrity comes in. Remember we say, integrity is what our team members should understand. Doing what you know you have to do without anyone looking at you doing that. The reputation of a lodge or restaurant can be damaged very quickly. I mean, if guests begin to feel that their belongings or their experiences are not secure, imagine what impact this can have on tourism, and not only in Namibia, but on the overall African continent. I mean, trust from international travelers, especially now, it is critical, it is key to our future development. And we are talking now Namibia. We must acknowledge that while most team members work honestly and with pride, and I have met quite a few of them, even a few incidents can damage the overall reputation of our teams in our industry today. So we must explore the reality behind the behavior without excusing it at all. Workplace theft in hospitality and tourism can occur for several reasons, and we are going to touch a bit on some of these today. Let us look at financial pressure and of what our team members are going through today, especially with this current war that is happening in the Middle East. Many hospitality employees support families or even their communities, for those that work within the conservation areas in Namibia. And of course, the financial stress can sometimes lead people to make poor decisions. I do understand that currently our team members in Namibia today, they may not be working for the highest or best salaries, but I do hold faith that once we get our priorities together, and we develop these team members to understand that what we are doing is a profession. And all eyes are on us, especially in Namibia, if we want to gain that credibility, not only from the local market, but from the international market as well. So, opportunity. When in our hospitality environments, when they contain stock and cash, and of course the guest property. When systems are weak or supervision is inconsistent, whenever opportunity can present itself, again, this is where only the few of our team members will make the poor judgment and go with whatever opportunity they may see as a good idea in the moment, but in doing so, ruining not only their reputation, but that of the property they work for, and of course, Namibia. So let us look at our workplace culture. If small dishonest behaviors go unaddressed, they can slowly become normalized within the teams. You see, this is where we spoke of again in our previous podcast, where we have management that I am not saying they are intimidated, but they feel not very strong at taking action whenever they may catch a team member doing something because of this worry, of course, of our local labor laws, first and foremost, but of losing what they may see or determine as a good team member. And already it is hard to find good team members in our industry today. But if one of our team members or team members are caught doing these dishonest activities, consequences must be followed through. Accountability must be understood and consequences met. So when employees feel disconnected from the success of the business as well, they may not recognize how their action affects everyone around them. Again, this is where we have our team members, they do what we call the famous mathematics. They may take the meal report, they do what they call their calculations, and they will see, oh my goodness, the property is earning so much and so much income, then why are we not, benefiting from that income? What they do not understand, however, is that that income, when you really pay the overall costs of that operation, they should see that that income is absolutely nothing. You have maintenance to pay, stock, utilities, salaries. When you look at all of these components, they can only then understand, hold on, what we earn, it's barely, especially in today's market, when we have low occupancies, it barely covers the overall costs of the operation. Theft rarely begins as a large act. Often it starts with something small, a product taken from the stock or a small amount of cash, overcharging of our guests during cash payments so as to pocket the surplus cash, or misuse of resources, and eventually this gradually escalates. So these are the small, poor decisions some of our team members, they will actually do within the operation. And this is where we need to have systems in place to follow through and to catch up with whatever the dishonest acts may be. Now, of course, we will not exhaust all our energy in wanting to follow through in catching an employee in the act. Of course not. We're not here for that. We are here to try to develop our teams so that we can have a harmonious environment, that we can assist and guide our team members to understand what our role is in delivering the experience that we should be having and overall meeting the expectations of our guests. That's what we should be doing. That's where we should be exhausting our energy. And in return, getting in that income that will eventually do the rest, which would be maintaining the property and ensuring that the business is profitable, sustainable. But I believe we should also train our team members to understand that so that they can see what the business is about and what it is really doing. So the impact that all of this can have on our businesses and teams. Many people think theft only affects the business owner, and that is the mindset of many of our team members. This impact, however, actually spreads much wider. Loss of trust within the team. That is what the final effect would look like when the trust is lost. Once theft occurs, management becomes more cautious. They will begin monitoring increases, and the workplace atmosphere can change. And many times, not for the better, unfortunately. But stricter controls and policies must be adhered to. Businesses may then often introduce tighter systems which can make, unfortunately, daily operations more complicated for everyone, even for the business owner. Can you believe that? And then in return, we have a toxic environment. No one feels like wanting to go to work because things have changed. Things have become more rigid. People have become more distrustful of each other. And many times that will be the management towards the team members. And we don't want that type of environment in our teams today, colleagues. So, damage to the guest confidence now when we do these things. Guests who feel unsafe or uncertain within an environment like that may not return and may even share the negative experiences via the online reviews. Remember, we have made it quite clear that many of these guests today, they shop through the reviews. Hardly ever they would go directly to the website. And so when they do come to us, it's because of the reviews. Our millennials especially, and our Gen Z, of course, our Gen X as well, they have the patience. They will go through the reviews, see where it is best, where it is safe, where the majority of previous guests have spoken, the positive with the negative. And that's how they make their decision. So when we finally get them on our doors, we should try, not even try, but do what we know is expected of us to meet the guests' expectations positively. So financial pressure on the business. Let us speak about that. Repeated losses can definitely affect profitability, which in turn affects staff opportunities, promotions, training, and in the end, job security. And then who do we have to blame for that? We have no one to blame but ourselves. You know, team members, when the good things happen to us, we always point to ourselves. It was me. I was responsible for that. But when the bad things happen, or we were the cause of something bad, it's never us. It's always somebody else. Let us get away from that. We are supposed to be professionals in our role. And so we should be able and understand to take accountability for the good, but also for the bad. Bite the bullet, move forward. Please. Therefore, I must remind you that many hospitality businesses often operate on very tight margins, especially in Namibia today. Even small losses can accumulate into significant operational challenges. And again, business owners, this is what we need to do with our teams. Put them to sit down, be transparent, and show them what their business look like and how theft can affect not only the business, but their lives and also their opportunities, especially when it comes to possible salary increases or promotions, and especially development of their role. They need to understand these things. We cannot keep them in the dark at all. Therefore, an important truth here today: preventing theft is not only the responsibility of the employees, the leadership, or the systems, but together they all play an important role. And therefore, everyone that I just named there, team members, leadership, and of course the systems which are in play, must be strengthened, especially to ensure that theft does not occur. And if it does, that we are able at some point to track it down efficiently, immediately, so we can cut the root right there. We can get to the root cause much faster. It is what it is. So good hospitality operations should include clear stock control systems. It doesn't always have to be automated, but a regular stock take, if it is physical or manual, then so be it. Transparent cash handling procedures. We want to ensure that there is a proper float in that cash register. We want to ensure that the team members who are doing the transactions to our guests, especially to our local guests who may sometimes pay in cash, that we ensure that our team members are not inflating the prices, getting in the cash and then taking the surplus for themselves and putting the rest into the drawer. That we have to pay attention to. Proper training and supervision of our teams. Again, we don't want it to seem as if it is micromanaging or distrust, but if we are going to have a transparent business place or environment, everyone should be transparent with each other. Team members to management, management to team members, and in turn to the guest. And of course, not forgetting fair and respectful treatment of the staff. Of course, remember, it's not everyone that does these dishonest deeds. But again, it comes down to the old adage, Peter pays for Paul, Paul pays for all. And unfortunately, that is how it would be. The guilty, until proven innocent. So when systems are organized and communication is clear, transparent, it becomes much harder for dishonest behavior to take place. Believe it or not, once the team members begin to see, whoa, okay, systems have become more rigid, there is not much room to take these dishonest opportunities anymore, look and you will see. Chances are the business will start going in that direction where you want it to go. Also, it is important to mention that when staff feel respected, supported, and valued, they are far more likely to, listen to this now, to even protect the business rather than harm it. You will find team members who will catch another team member doing something, and if they don't report it immediately, chances are they will scold that person, hey, what are you doing? This is not the way we do things here. If you get caught, we are all in trouble. Let's not do this. So keep attentive to that. It is quite clear with what is currently happening with, again, the regional disputes currently going on, namely the conflict in Iran and Israel. Remember, cost of living will escalate, that is for sure. Inflation will go up, making spending power much more difficult, but it will pass. However, what is happening will eventually reflect on the team members' livelihoods. Prior to what was taking place, remember, salaries were not all that. But now salaries, like we said, will not have that spending power even more so until our regional disputes calm down a bit. Therefore, we need to ensure that we continue taking care of our team members. We treat everyone as innocent until proven guilty. And of course, showing that there will be no excuse for dishonest behavior. Most hospitality leaders, in this case, may eventually experience situations where trust has been broken. And that is what we may encounter on a daily basis within our environment, not only due to to theft, but to many other causes as well. However, these moments are difficult for both the managers and the teams, which many times lead to a difficult conversation. It's not always you want to approach a team member to, give a transgression or a verbal warning or whatever the case may be. Again, managers, we're not here for that. We have much more responsibilities on our plate when it comes to the overall operation. However, when these things do happen, it is important we take action immediately. We don't want these things to escalate or to become normalized. Therefore, we need to ensure these situations should be a reminder of the importance within our business of what it means when we speak of strong leadership within our operations. Clear systems that everyone should understand. Open communication between management and team members. When team members, they take accountability for something they may have done wrong and they come to you with it, I know you may feel frustrated, but let us be calm in that moment and respect them. First of all, that they came to you, they did not hide whatever the problem was. So let us, be respectful with them when they do that, when they come forth to you. And of course, reinforcing ethical behavior within our business places. We want that people understand, hey, I respect you and I do expect the same in return. And of course, all of us, we are here on the same level. I may be the manager, you are the team member, but at the end of the day, we are all here for the same goal, which is showing our experience when it comes to meeting the expectations of our guests. So, while systems can help to prevent problems, the strongest protection is always a culture of integrity, that we can encourage our team members. Hey, remember, we are all adults here. We should be able to work without supervision at some moment within the operations, and we should know what we have to do without anyone having to stand there looking at you do it. And with this, training, if you want to call it that, to our team members, this will eventually prevent a work environment from becoming toxic. The last thing we want is to work in any environment which is toxic. Therefore, in hospitality and tourism, we want to ensure that our reputation becomes our professional identity. Skills can be improved in service, management, and the overall operations, but once that trust is lost, rebuilding it can be extremely difficult, and that's what we want to avoid. I want that all our young professionals out there in Namibia today to understand what is integrity and how important it is to us in our work environment. This, at the end of the day, it opens doors for all of us. Remember as well, Namibia is a very small industry. We cannot be burning bridges here now. Managers should remember the team members who they work with and who they should also rely on, and that we should be respectful of these team members we work with on a daily basis. If someone wants to grow in hospitality, leadership opportunities must always go to those who demonstrate that they are reliable and honest within the operations over the time. Therefore, hospitality is not only about service, luxury, or guest experiences, but it is also about responsibility, trust, and of course, in capital letters, integrity. Protecting that trust protects the business, the team, and the reputation of the entire industry. So, thank you for joining us here today. We hope this episode was informative. We encourage you to send your comments, your questions, or feedback which you may have for this podcast, and which of course you will also find on our Real Hospitality Conversations YouTube channel. If you want to know more about Soul of Hospitality, then please visit our website www.soul-of-hospitality.com or call us at 081-443-3730. Thank you for joining us on our Real Hospitality Conversations podcast, and have a great day today. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Real Hospitality Conversations. If this episode was informative for you, please follow, share, and join the conversation. Until next time, remember, hospitality isn't about perfection, it's about people.